Today we're really excited to share with you a story of two sisters, Jordan and Joelle, who are part of our Hoboken Grace family. But before we jump into the story, we just want to let you know that this story was filmed several weeks ago. And so a lot of what's happening in our country, we weren't able to talk about or talk through. And so we wanted to give you a little bit of context of when the story was filmed. But at the same time, we wanted to make sure that you were able to experience their story and see how they've been moving through the past few months. So check this out. Well, hello and welcome to A Day in the Life. As we're walking through this time together, we recognize the importance and the power of story. We've already begun to see that as we're collecting these stories from our family members all over the country in all sorts of different situations and circumstances. And we want for you to be able to hear their situation, but we also want for you to be able to hear how they're experiencing God through that. And today we're really fortunate to have Jordan and Joelle with us. So thank you so much for joining us. And as we get started, if you would just give us a little bit of a picture of what this has looked like for you as you've walked through what has now been almost 2 months.
Yeah, absolutely. We are based in Hoboken. We're in downtown Hoboken, right on the water. So fortunate enough to have a nice view of New York City, although we obviously cannot go every day. So we've been in quarantine. It's the two of us in a one-bedroom apartment with our little dog, which has been fun. Thanks be to God, we have been fortunate enough to be able to keep our jobs and work safely from home. We work at a content marketing publishing company.
Actually work together.
We do. We work at the same job. We have the same role at the same company. So we've been able to work together, and it's nice to be able to still have, a sister, a friend, and really a work colleague at the same time during all of this. So really just, doing that day in and day out. And then, the weekends have been pretty much the same, just kind of staying inside and connecting with people virtually. Yeah, getting pretty creative with some fun things around the apartment, going out for walks, things like that. So it's been an okay time for us.
What as you've walked through this, you talked a little bit there about connecting. What does that look like? What are some of those creative ways that you've been able to connect with others during this time?
Yeah, so we are extremely close with our family. Of course, we have extended family here in Hoboken through Hoboken Grace. We work as contributors for Hoboken Girl Blog, quite a few different things that we do here, but are very close with our parents, aunts, uncles, and cousins. So we've been doing a lot of creative Zoom games, whether they are games that are, floating out there on the internet, Jeopardy, things like that. But one of our favorites that we've done for the past couple of weeks or so is actually creating our own sort of family trivia games. So we have our cousins and aunts and uncles send us either their favorite songs or movies or TV shows. And it's a list of usually like 5 or 6 things. And then everyone has to guess. We put together a PowerPoint, and everyone has to guess which family member sent in that particular playlist or list of movies, which has been really fun. Pictures pop up on the screen. So we've had a fun time creating them and a fun time sharing that time with our family. And it's interesting because we have cousins that live out in California. We don't get to see on a regular basis, and we've actually have seen them and talked to them more during this lockdown than we have in the past couple of years since they've moved out there. So it has been an interesting time while we haven't been physically together. We have been connecting with a lot of people even more so than we would have been. We also did a family church service. We have my grandma's cousins were blessed with the talent of being able to sing. I don't know how the rest of us didn't get that, but no one else did. It's only 3 of them. So we did a small church concert for a couple of weeks ago, like around Mother's Day. Yeah. So it was a lot of fun. We've also been doing some baking classes. Yeah. We bake, and so as you can imagine, we're typically very busy with, going to church, and we have our own home church in Amboy, New Jersey as well that we attend. So it's been great to be able to kind of double time and be able to see church in Perth Amboy and Hoboken Grace as well, which we typically don't get to do on any other Sunday. But again, making videos and different things like that we've been able to do during this time that we probably wouldn't have had the time to do otherwise when we're, kind of on that hamster wheel day out, just going through life otherwise.
And then as you've walked through this, obviously it's brought different challenges to all of us. How what does that look like, and how have you, what has your experience of God been like through this process?
Absolutely. It's been absolutely incredible. I would say in a similar way to being able to experience our family more often, I feel as though my faith has grown tremendously over the past, I guess it's been 9 weeks now, 8 or 9 weeks. I just feel like I have more time and honestly more clarity to really sit down and read my Bible day in and day out, be able to talk with God and actually take the time to listen to what it is that He has to say, and not have my day be so filled with other things that I can hear what God has to say. But sometimes, like we all do as humans, we may ignore some of those signs.
Mm.
We may say, I don't know if that's really what He means, because I had this other plan in mind, and I think that that's what I should be doing. Right now, that we really don't have any plans, it has given me at least the opportunity to really sit down and listen. We have gone through a few things COVID related and non-COVID related with illness in our family over the past couple of weeks.
Mm.
So it has been really, really a time to sit down and sort of understand, not necessarily understand why this is happening, because I don't know that any of us can really understand that fully, but understand that God has a control, that God is really the one in control, and that we have to sort of relinquish our sense of feeling in control to Him. Absolutely. And, before all this, I knew I trusted God. I knew that that was something that has been instilled in me and that I've seen throughout my life. And that, I've been privileged enough to grow up in a family where church was introduced to me. And then also that I've taken it upon myself as an adult to continue on in my faith journey. But I didn't realize how much I actually trusted Him and what kind of peace that does give me during this time. Because it really is, like Joelle is saying, it really is completely up to Him. It is completely in His control. And I think in a different time, if somebody was to present this to me in a hypothetical way, if they asked me, how much do you trust God? I think I probably would have said, yeah, I trust Him, but I may question Him a little bit. But now that I'm actually living through it, and I'm just kind of like, you know what, let your will be done. Yeah. I fully trust my life and the life of my family, life of my friends, life of my community are truly in your hands. When this all first started, I think it was Tyler Perry made a viral video of the song, He's Got the Whole World in His Hands. And that is a song that I do think of quite often.
Yeah.
But this is truly a time where I know without a shadow of a doubt that God has the whole world in His hands. And we have to be able to hold on to that right now. And that's what I'm choosing to do. And that's how I've seen God through all of this, to know that He really, really has us through this, and that His word says that He will never leave or forsake us. And that is what I know to be true. Yeah. I think it gives, for me, at least in the beginning of this, I don't want to use the word anxiety lightly, because I know that there are people out there that truly do deal with anxiety. And I don't believe that I am one of those people, but I did feel an increased sense of anxiousness or anxiety. But I would say after about 2 or 3 weeks, once I really, really started to understand He has this in control, and not that everything is going to be okay, because there are going to be things that we don't as humans deem as okay.
Yep.
But that it is okay in His plan, and His will is going to be done through all of this. And I think that once I kind of fully got my mind around that, I felt a bit of peace that I didn't have in the first couple of weeks during this.
That's powerful. That's incredible. As you think about your neighbors here in Hoboken, our family here, is there anything else that you would want to share with them as they're experiencing this, and as we're going through this together?
Absolutely. I mean, I think that this is a time for us to be alone together. I think I've seen in a lot of commercials is the phrase that people have been using, and we're strong. This is, of course, the first time that we in our lifetimes have seen a pandemic of this level. Yeah. But if you think about the things that we have been through previously, this is just another tale in our story. We will get through it. I think about times, not to bring up other sad times, but I think about the fact that we were all here for 9/11, or we were all here for Hurricane Sandy. We've all gone through personal things on our own. We will get through this together as long as we continue to band together as a strong community. Hoboken drew us in when we moved here almost 3.5 years ago from Central Jersey up here because of the sense of community. And that's why we, came and got involved immediately with Hoboken Grace and immediately with Hoboken Girl. And we're on the board of Party with Purpose and all these different organizations in Hoboken, because the community just draws you in. Mm-hmm. So now is a time to really kind of band together and say, this is yet another thing that we will get through together. Yeah, I remember that whatever your sentiments are, as long as you feel that they are healthy for yourself, they're okay to feel. If you feel scared, anxious, and you are a believer out there, lean on your faith. Lean on something that is greater than yourself to get you through this. If you feel that one day you're just going to hang out on the couch and watch Netflix all day, that's okay. Or if you feel like you want to, start that business or clean that closet, which is what we've been doing a lot, that's okay too. I just think that letting people know that no one has been through this and no one can tell you that they know what this is like. I think that take each day as it comes and understand that you can be kind to yourself through this time.
I think there have been a tremendous number of home improvements made during this time.
Yeah. We're actually staring at a half-finished wall because we ordered wood panels, and we thought we ordered enough, but we did not, and now they're out of stock. So time will tell when that wall will be finished. Yeah. So that's what we're looking at we couldn't do the video on that side because the wall's not done.
That's hilarious. Oh, it's the worst too, because with shipping, you just don't know anymore.
I know. And I logged on earlier today and it said out of stock. I was like, no.
Oh. Yep.
Yeah.
It's interesting. All of the little, there's the big things and then there's the little things. And
right, yeah, exactly. I know. I had to put it into perspective, and I was like, God, you're a funny one. I really, really had to put it in perspective at 6 this morning when I was checking to see if they were back online.
Yeah. Well, listen, thank you so much for joining us and for being part of this with us. I think your dog has decided to join us as well, which is awesome.
Yes.
That's the great thing about where we are. Like you get the whole family. Doesn't matter.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been nice to have her. She's usually with our parents. But since we've been home from work, we've had her for the last 2 months. So it's been nice.
Yeah. Well, again, thank you so much. And I know this is going to be really powerful as we continue to share these stories and the reality that we are in this together. And it's just been amazing to see, and it's so encouraging to hear it in your story as well. As we came into this, I didn't know how our family would react. I didn't know what the response would be, and it's just been unbelievable to see the sense of hope moving through this. And I don't think, I've talked to other pastors around the country. That's not necessarily the norm, and just to be able to see, I think it speaks to just the steps that people have taken and that pursuit of God, and just really, really, really encouraging. And so thank you again for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
And for those of you who are watching, thank you for joining us. We hope that this was an encouragement to you. We want you to know that we're praying for you, we love you, and we're in this together. We'll see you soon.